Mandela signed to help the refugees in this country. But they took the thing that Mandela signed, they throw it down. They are turning the country not to help anybody.
I won't go. I think I can go maybe if they carry me from here to Zim. But if they just say it on TV, I won't go.
A growing number of South Africans are voicing frustration over what they perceive as government inaction in addressing undocumented immigration, particularly from neighboring Zimbabwe. According to vocal community leaders and social media activists, the South African government is protecting Zimbabwean nationals by delaying deportations, extending permits, and allegedly prioritizing foreign nationals over locals in basic services and employment.
They're not taking us anymore because South Africans have this thing where we are taking their jobs, and it doesn't make sense. We're not taking their jobs. We're all looking for jobs like everybody else. We're all trying to survive. If you come back and say, we're going to give you money, at least give us a reasonable amount of money.
I don't think all Zimbabweans are ready to go back home, because what brought us here in the first place is still there in our country. So Zimbabweans are so stressed that if they are chased out of South Africa, what are they going to do? There's no economy in Zimbabwe. We don't have our own currency, number one. Number two, the xenophobic government is looting, they're causing corruption. The hospitals are dilapidated. Everything in Zimbabwe is shattered.
Because we are saying all the foreign nationals who are here in KwaZulu-Natal, who have documents, who are here in their country, we support their presence in the province of KwaZulu-Natal, because we understand the reasons are beyond reasonable doubt that they had to be here for a particular purpose. However, we are saying for those who are here in their country, they must go back to their countries so that they get proper documents that will allow them to be in the province of KwaZulu-Natal. I don't think that is being xenophobic.
The government talks, but they don't act. The Zimbabwe Exemption Permit, ZEP system, first introduced in 2009 to regulate the presence of Zimbabweans who fled political and economic turmoil, has been a consistent flashpoint in the national immigration debate. In 2021, the Department of Home Affairs announced the permits would not be renewed, sparking legal challenges and public protest. Since then, implementation has stalled, with ongoing court cases and human rights concerns delaying mass deportations. Critics argue that government responses have been inconsistent and overly sympathetic. We see overcrowded clinics, overwhelmed schools, and competition for jobs, says Bongiwe Nxumalo, a community activist in Durban. Yet the state seems more concerned about foreign nationals' rights than the daily struggles of poor South Africans. Meanwhile, human rights organizations have condemned the rhetoric as dangerous and xenophobic, warning that the scapegoating of foreign nationals, especially Zimbabweans, risks inciting violence. Groups like Lawyers for Human Rights argue that many Zimbabweans face dire consequences if deported and deserve due process.
If you go to Zimbabwe today, you want to cry when you see how black people in Zimbabwe are living. Number one, water as we speak in Zimbabwe is not reticulated. So you drink it at your own risk. Number two, Zimbabweans get electricity from midnight to 5 o'clock in the morning. The whole day they have no electricity. Number three, Mugabe himself died in Singapore. There's no single hospital that could heal him, that could treat him in Zimbabwe. The education system has collapsed. In South Africa, it is estimated that we have more than 7 million Zimbabweans. Zimbabweans are scattered all over the world as we speak. Who caused all this mayhem, this suffering? They talk about land reform. Zimbabwe's land reform is a mess. As you and I speak now, Zimbabwe imports maize, which is the staple food of the people of Zimbabwe. The country cannot produce food for itself. That is the true legacy of Robert Mugabe, a tyrant who began as a liberation fighter. As you and I speak now in Zimbabwe, unemployment is more than 90%. So it means that more than 90% of able-bodied men and women in Zimbabwe cannot find work. So if they were to fall sick, how would they pay for health services? They wouldn't be able to do so because they don't have money. But there are also not hospitals there. So the people who work in Zimbabwe as we speak are politicians. These are the parasites who are milking whatever remains in what you can call an economy in Zimbabwe, which has, by all indications, collapsed. So the tragedy of African politics is the tragedy of political elites who are in office for their own stomachs, not for their own people. If we look at the Zimbabwean situation now, it's very sad. People are suffering. And these are not white.
Ngabantu abakwazi ukusebenzela ukuthi kunendawo yokusebenza la ifactory yakha eyingozi la kukhona ngibonile ngaphakathi ama-overall njalo. Uqasha abantu abaningi-ke abakhona le ndaweni kodwa ngebhadi umnini wale ndawo ukwazi ukuqasha nabantu bokuhamba abangenazo iy'ncwadi zokuba la-South Africa ezingekho emthethweni. Sesikwazile ukuthi sifike la sosesha abantu esesibathulile okwamanje sinesiqiniseko sabo ukuthi baney'ncwadi ezingekho emthethweni abazenze kwabanisi sebengaphezu kwa-50 abantu esibathulile. Kusiphatha kambi-ke lokho ngoba sisibopha la bantu abawu-50 nje bafike la ngokungekho emthethweni la e-South Africa. Umnini wenkampani uyabaqasha, ubaqasha ngoba ebona ukuthi ngcono ukuthi akhokhele abantu bokuhamba imali encane namalungelo abo efana ngabathola babasebenzi ngeke bawathole ukuba bala ngokungekho emthethweni. Ukusiphatha kambi-ke ngoba siphatheka kama besibona abaphathi abaqashi benza lezi zinto abazenzayo ngoba ukuthatha abantu bokuhamba kwenza ukuthi amathuba omsebenzi alapha la e-South Africa mase ncipha-ke amathuba omsebenzi bese sibhekana nobugebengu ngoba phela abantu bala ekhaya mase belambile sebehamba befuna behambe becela ukudla bengawutholi bagcina sebenza ubugebengu ukuze bakwazi ukuthi baziphakele. Kanti amathuba omsebenzi akhona ngoba nakho abaqashi abawavulile amathuba omsebenzi kunalokho bathatha abantu bokuhamba ngoba bengafuni bakhokhele imali eningi. Siyaqiniseka ukuthi bonke abantu abaphethe iy'mboni bazokwazi ukuthi babhekelele abasebenzi abaqhamuka khona la ekhaya nalabo bokuhamba-ke uma ukuthi bayabaqasha kube kube idlanzana kube yilelo dlanzana elinamaphepha ukuthi basebenze le-South Africa. Commissioner,
As South Africa grapples with unemployment, inequality, and strained public services, tensions over immigration are unlikely to ease soon. While some citizens demand swift deportations, others urge a more compassionate and lawful approach, leaving the government caught in a deeply polarized debate.